Hey, Sam Hayes here, One Stop Transaction Services. I wanted to kind of give you a quick summarization of what I've seen so far about this NAR settlement, potential settlement. Now, please remember, this is not approved. DOJ can come in, Consumer Advocate Group can come in, still have opinions, but we've got about 100 days. So if you look at it, then in the next 100 days, it's an opportunity to be revamping, updating, getting comfortable with a lot of the changes that are coming. We got through the PEDS, we got through the pandemic, we had the best year ever during the pandemic and all that fun stuff. We can do this. This is not a problem. And especially as already one of my clients who provides value, service, and education to your clients, I know that this is just a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a tweak, and I'm here to help you every single step of the way. Big thing to remember is we will no longer have compensation listed in the MLS, but that doesn't mean you can't be putting it on your own broker's website or your own personal website. You can also pick up the phone and just call somebody to find that out. So it doesn't mean that commissions are going away, and it really goes into the listing agents and their communication with the sellers explaining, here's the reality of the situation. Most buyers don't have enough enough cash as they're doing their down to have extra to go into the commissions. It's going to be the same way it's always been. It's just an education of this is why the transaction takes place. This is how the money's going. Is lending going to change? I've already seen little bits and blurbs of it. I've heard rumors of Freddie Mac and Fannie changing. We also need to change with the VA because there's no way our VA buyers are going to be able to be taken care of in this because they cannot pay the commission. This is going to be a very, very fast-paced, crazy next 100 days. I'm going to stay on as top of this as I can and keep updating you. And I will be sending out a lot of things to just keep reading and be aware of, but I'm here as a resource always whenever you have any questions. Another thing you're going to need to remember is you have to have something in writing, like a buyer-broker agreement, before you show that house. You have got to have it in writing saying this is the commission I'm getting, this is transparency, and every house you show, you're going to want to have the buyer initial on that MLS, or you can use the ABCD. I don't know why CAR names these forms like this. They don't understand we have to talk about them. But anyways, you're going to want to do that, and those both will show that you did transparency every step of the way. That is going to be a really hard thing to switch to. I believe the MLSs are probably going to update the way they did kind of with the PEDS where we got it so you could do it electronically. I would just have something ready on DocuSign so that they can just hit the button as you go through, all of those things. So it's super easy on your phones while you're out and about, or just have 2 extra piles and have them initial as you go in each door. Take a photo of the back of their heads, not their faces, back of their heads with the address so that we've got proof. Whatever you got to do, but I need proof that they knew before they went into that property how much the commission was and that you did show them that property was talked about. So we're going to get creative, but we got to make sure that we've got proof for that. A big other thing right now is just practicing your presentations, going to a buyer presentation. This is interviewing as a job to represent them as a realtor. Just like I treat every file when I don't have a TC on the other side, that's an interview for me with the other agent to see if maybe they want to use my services. You can also get ahead of everything and say, understand that you've been educating yourself about what's going on in the industry, the changes with commission structure. What questions do you have? The more comfortable you are knowing what is going on, what are going to be the regulations, the easier this is going to be. Let's see, what was the other major one to be aware of? Do not be chatting about commissions on Facebook right now. That's antitrust. Don't do it. Stop it. Don't do it. No commission anywhere in the MLS. Don't try and stick it in a little pocket. Now, you can do seller credits and things, but that has to be saved and it has to be made sure that it's very separate. It's not for commission. So that's going to come into a whole creative thing, and we're going to have to be really careful till we get guidelines. Now, if you're holding an open house, you do not have to have a buyer rep because the buyers came to you physically in the property. But you're going to want to have a plan how to convert them. Are you going to have some buyer reps programmed as a template in your DocuSign on your phone? Are you going to have some paper ones there? Remember, the buyer broker is created so that you can go to, or the buyer representation broker compensation. We've got a buyer broker for so long. You can do one property within 1 hour and that's it. That's the window. Or you can be like anything in California for the next 10 years. You can make it very broad. You can make it very narrow. It's a great form because it does allow all of that. You can get into specifics of neighborhoods now. You can get specifics of zip codes, counties. Familiarize yourself. The more comfortable you are with this stuff, I think the less it's going to be intimidating and freak everybody out. The settlement, again, is not approved. Right now, as long as you are an NAR member and you are part of a brokerage that's less than $1.99999 billion, you're fine. We're part of the $413 million settlement. The brokerages that were more than that, it's the brokerage, not the agents. Compass being an example, have a different situation. We have 413 over 4 years. There's a mathematical structure of 0.0025 based on their volume in 2022, all of our best year so far. And right now it's looking like Compass could get stuck with $507 million to be paid back in 1 year. I expect much of this to be either settled or renegotiated or figured out. But again, that's something of the next 100 days that's going to be crazy and we all need to be aware of. Bottom line, what I told you, and I've always said, it's better to have everything documented. We need it in writing. Texts are fine. Remember, you can text to an email address, add my email address. I will just start building you a comm log. No problem. I'm used to it. You're not going to overwhelm me. Let me be a resource for you. I am here to get all of your templates set up so that we have everything ready to go. We can pre-enter information so that you know what your standard is. Things aren't missed. I'm happy to go through it line by line. I'll be doing multiple videos, multiple screen shares, everything possible to make sure you are still getting paid everything you are worth and making sure you have the correct documentation so there's no question and no challenge to it. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I'm always here to help. 619-993-7264. Sam Hayes, One Stop Transaction Services. Please verify everything with the broker of record of the file you are working on. And I'm going to keep giving you crazy videos and updates of frantic energy because there's a lot coming down. Biggest things, no commission in the MLS, everything in writing. Don't put anybody in that car until you've got a written agreement. Have a great day. We'll get through this.